Parenthood is a serious business. Yeah, and that's why I'm putting on my business suit. Did you know that many of adulthood health issues can be traced to childhood experiences? These health issues also includes having a low self-esteem. So you can raise a child with high level of self-esteem. I've compiled 6 ways that you can raise a child that will help you raise a child with a very high level of self-esteem. Yeah, so that being said, let's jump right into the video. The first thing that you can do is play together. When you play with your children, you set out time out of your busy schedule to play with them and show them care. It makes them feel that they are worth love, and this will help them even as they grow up to associate with friends and colleagues in school and at work. So they grow up into children with high self-esteem. So now playing with your children involves spending quality time with them rather than the quantity of time with them. So even though it's just 5 minutes that you spend with them, the quality in that time, in those 5 minutes, should be what your focus should be on. So play with your children. It will help them to boost their self-esteem. The second thing is give them responsibilities. Okay, now these responsibilities should be age-based. So a child who is 1 year old, you give him a responsibility worthy of a 1-year-old performing. So these responsibilities, these tasks makes them, feel useful. When you tell a child to clean the house, you tell a child to clean the house. When he's done with that, it feels, whether he likes it or not, subconsciously it feels there is a sense of fulfillment. He feels a sense of fulfillment, and this helps him to builds a very high level of self-confidence in him and a high self-esteem. The third thing you should do is encourage independence. So sometimes some parents become too clingy to their children. They are always with their child, they do everything for their child, but this won't help this child to grow in his self-esteem or in her self-esteem. So you can leave them at home, leave your children at home at least for some time. Just leave them alone at home, or maybe there's a complaint in school, give those children the go ahead to speak to their teachers on their own. Now I'm not talking about you skipping parents and teachers as conferences. No, that's a different scenario. I'm talking about meeting, your child has a case with his colleagues. Instead of you going with the child to school, you tell that child to speak up to his teacher, to his class teacher. That way you are building his self-confidence, you are building his self-esteem through encouraging independence. The fourth thing is refrain from insults. Yes, children, as loving as they are, they can be very, very annoying too. So it's normal if you get angry or get irritated with your child. It's normal, but you should try as much as possible to avoid using insults on your children, even as you correct them. Don't these insults, because they see you as as a figure which they look up to. So if you insult them and say these things to them, say these negative words to them, they believe you and they start acting accordingly, and this tends to lower their self-esteem as adults. The fifth thing is make setbacks learning experiences. When your children fail, when they they didn't achieve that goal which they planned for themselves, make them see it as an opportunity to learn, as an opportunity to become better. This training will help them to be able to manage the stress of life. Like I said in my last video, a person with high self-esteem will know how to manage failures and rejections without breaking down. So So you are training your children to become that high value, that highly esteemed individual in the society. Finally, the sixth thing is you allow them to show off their creativity. So your child has painted an artwork or has, written a story. Allow them to paste this artwork in their rooms or in this living room, or these stories, read these stories with them. Give them time to show off that gift which they have. Maybe it can play keyboard, no matter how funny no matter how funny it might be, try to make them feel proud of the works of their hands. This way you are building that self-esteem, you are building that self-confidence in your child. You can't expect your children to be perfect or even yourself to be perfect. So even as you try to build this self-esteem, even as you try to take into action these 6 ways to help your children become more high value in the society, don't expect yourself to get it right perfectly, but just keep on practicing and keep on working towards building in your child that sense of high self-esteem. Yeah, so that's all on today's video. Don't forget to stay psyched.